All right, welcome to Musically Meditated. This is episode 46, special edition. Happy birthday, Eazy-E. Rest in peace. I have two of my close friends and associates in the house with me. First and foremost, he's over here drinking a 42-ounce Old English beverage.
42.
42. We needed those 2 extra ounces. His name is Justin Wallace, and he has a podcast. And what's that podcast called, sir?
Juice Pro Wrestling.
So check that out and subscribe, right?
That's right. Or die.
And we also have a reoccurring guest, my friend and fellow hip-hop head, Mike Barth. He's been on episode 11?
11.
And what was the J. Cole one? I don't know. I don't know what number it was.
Yeah, I can't
but we did it. Yeah, we can't keep track.
Yeah.
We do a lot over here.
We don't keep count.
Right. Yeah, right. I had to look up what episode number this was. But we have Mike in the house, and this is perfect for him, too, because him and I have both been huge Eazy-E fans since we were kids. I know you too, Wallace, but we had to bring you in because you were still on that grunge rock kick back then.
Oh, man, yeah.
But
I remember those mixtapes.
Those mixtapes when we made mixtapes. But yeah, happy birthday to Eazy-E. And what we're going to do too real quick is Musically Meditated is available on all listening platforms for podcasts. So please subscribe, check us out, share with your friends and your enemies. And thank you so much for all the support thus far. Last week was a really cool and special episode I had with my dad. Got a lot of really cool feedback, and it was really cool to share those stories and let everybody hear them. It was a really great time. So shout out to my dad. He likes Eazy-E too after all these years. So
you said you had a picture. He went to work or some shit with a Compton hat.
Yeah. Dad rocks the Compton hat. He actually got me. He went to, I think it was San Diego, and then he went through Compton. This was like when we were in high school, like, before the internet, before you could just buy whatever you wanted to. And he went anywhere and everywhere, and he found a Compton hat for me.
Where, in Compton?
Yeah, in Compton, like at I don't know where it was, maybe like a gas station. Remember, Wallace? And I gave it to you after all this time, and then didn't someone steal it?
Yeah, a drummer that was in our old band Decrypt from Ohio. I was just telling this story over the weekend at Full Terror Assault. I was like, so pissed. Like my Peter Pan Christ shirt and my Compton hat got stolen. I was really heartbroken about the Compton one, though. So now I'll just steal Andrews.
Yeah. Now we're gonna do that. Yeah,
you should have brought that too.
Yeah, you should have. You should have. But what I want to do right now is kind of jump into who Eric Wright was before he became Eazy-E. So
still the greatest.
As far as his childhood goes, here's a weird fact. He lost his virginity at 12.
Oh, really?
That's a disgusting fact. I mean, I think at 12 I was, motivated for things, but...
Well, Eazy obviously had something on his mind at 12.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what put him in the grave, right?
He was just, well, if you believe the hype.
But here's another thing, too, which is kind of crazy. He's a son of a upholsterer worker, and his mom was a school administrator. So Eazy came from a really good background, family-wise.
Not bad.
You know what I mean? Like, he had a pretty good structure.
Them postal workers, though, sometimes they go postal.
They go postal. For whatever reason, though, his parents let him sell drugs, and they let him.
Son.
Here you go, and they let him make music in their garage, though, at age 13. And
really, Eazy was making music.
Yeah, in the garage, he was really into it, and he was selling weed or whatever. And at that time, too, is when he started running with the gangs, and that's where he got his nickname Eazy-E on the streets of Compton. So.
Compton.
Right? Streets of Compton. But here's another thing, too. He dropped out of school in 10th grade to sell drugs with his cousin, and he was able to use his business savvy smarts to get him ahead of others because he was so short.
Right.
Eazy was only 5'5", so there's another fact.
Yeah.
Hey,
so,
people his height don't fight.
Right. That's right. People his height do not fight.
No.
But he was affiliated, like I said, with the gangs, and specifically, Mike, tell me if this is correct, Kelly Park Compton?
Kelly Park, Compton Crew.
The
Right.
CPT.
That CPT and
Him and Ren.
We
him
in
and
the
Ren?
HBT right now.
him and MC Ren.
Well, I know probably Ren was with him around the park because they lived over there. But I don't know if he was so much affiliated in the sense of how much probably Eazy was, but they're the same area. So
Yeah, because I remember Eazy was buddies with Ren's brother.
that's how they started. Yeah, that's how they hung out because he was friends with his brother. And then Ren, when they met, they just started really hanging. And that was
It. Yeah, then he brought him on like with NWA, like, hey,
Yeah, because he's like, hey, this guy can write some songs and
he can flow.
Did you
make the rap.
to kind of a little bit off track
Yeah, go
real
ahead.
quick, but because I just saw this tweet on the way here. MC Ren tweeted about I don't know if I could say it, but the second album.
Oh, we'll just say homies for life.
Yeah, Homies for Life.
Yeah.
He was asking what everybody thought was better, like that or Straight Outta Compton. He's
I
like,
didn't see that.
Yeah, it had to be within the past couple of days, but he's like, personally, he's like, I think Homies for Life it had better like beats, better writing and stuff. Like everything was just there.
I heard that a few times.
That's
I
my
agree.
opinion too. I
But
agree
he's like,
100%.
but Straight Outta Compton had that impact.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's like, what does everybody else think? And I'm
Right.
just curious to throw it out there for
Yeah,
everybody.
go ahead, Mike. You speak on that first.
Probably, to me, Straight Outta Compton, just because
Okay.
it was the impact.
Yeah.
I say homies for life because
Yeah.
especially with Dre, he was on top of his game and his production.
Yeah.
And that came out like basically maybe a year before the Chronic and the whole breakup.
Yeah.
So like
'Cause that was
It's
the
got
end.
better songs on there too.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
if you want to talk about like hits, it's got more hits, I think, than on Straight Outta Compton.
in the writing,
better production too.
way better production, and Ren was on top of his game, and the DOC was doing a lot of the ghostwriting for that, and he's just the man in general. Because remember that was like right after his accident and stuff.
Right.
And then you had Cocaine doing a lot of stuff, and Above the Law.
Now you put it there.
Remember
Big
Above the
Hutch.
Law?
I mean that album. Everybody always goes back to the Chronic, like that started the G Funk. Like no,
No.
Homies
That's
for Life started.
Above the Law was on the Crow City of Angels soundtrack.
Were they?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Well, yeah, I like that you brought that up, Wallace. That was a good point because MC Ren's always showed us love on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
he'll-
he's always cool. Yeah, both
always.
of us, dude.
Yeah, both
He's-
of us.
yeah.
Like he looks at stuff, he retweets, he likes. Like
Yeah.
we love the villain in black.
Yeah.
That's my
for
guy.
Sure. He don't get the respect he deserves,
does
man.
not.
Hey, you always did like him.
Always.
I always thought it was weird, though.
Yeah.
I liked him, but I was just like, he's not better than Cube, though, even
Yeah.
I like him better than Cube. Let's not get in a fight about this. This is about Easy, but what's
This
up,
is
Ren?
about positive, not
Yeah.
HIV either.
Oh, geez.
I gotta bring the jokes.
He's got to bring the jokes,
though.
but
Got Suge Knight over here.
yeah, we do. But
Shit.
back to Easy and his gang affiliation. So he's running the streets, and his cousin was killed,
Right.
and that's when Easy's like, "Well, I need to."
Who's his cousin?
Yeah, who was his cousin, Mike? Do you know like anything about that?
Off the top, no.
Okay.
Not the name or anything.
But he at the time was like, "Well, I need to go another direction. I've always liked music."
Right.
And at that time, Easy already saved $250,000.
Jesus. How
And-
old was he?
I don't know, late teens probably,
Holy
Late
shit.
teens
What am I
or
doing with my life?
early
maybe early
20s.
20s. So he had $250,000. So that's when he's like, "Hey, Dre
But
was."
at the same time, Dre was pressing him through that time to be like, hey, man, why don't you do this? I want you to do that.
Well, they were trying to. Dre's smart. They were trying to utilize his finances.
Right.
Right.
From what I understand.
Yeah.
True. But I mean, Easy was the guy with the money,
Right.
and the respect in the streets because of his
The
affiliation.
street cred
That
goes
street
a long
cred.
way.
So he took that, which is really cool. Like he took all that, I guess, negative shit and turned it into something obviously very positive because Eazy-E and the rest of NWA are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, hell
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's huge.
That
that's
is
very
huge.
big.
You know what I'm
He
saying?
was like the first Serena Williams.
Wait, what?
Wait, wasn't she from Compton?
Yeah.
She is.
Yeah.
And she made something of herself. He did it first.
Yeah, Easy
Yeah,
did. So
yeah.
Serena, you got to bow down.
He got out the ghetto first.
did.
That's a big thing when you think of that, though. Like from using that negative as a positive. I mean, yeah, was he selling drugs? Unfortunately, I think like in this country, a lot of people in those kind of situations have to turn to that. Whether it's not even if it's not like super hard drugs like coke or whatever,
Right.
But weed. I mean, you got to find some way to make it work.
Right.
Right.
I mean,
And-
I'm sure he was selling that
I'm
was
sure
like
he was
the crack
probably
era
yeah,
too,
yeah.
so.
He was probably involved in everything, but it's cool to hear that like okay, he did do that, but
Turn his negative into a positive.
right.
And that's the way to go. So, like I said, he took that $250,000 and he started NWA, but more importantly, he started his independent record label, Ruthless.
Yeah, I love it. Ruthless
Ruthless
Records, which is
Records.
run by his ex-Chihuahua-looking wife. She's got a mustache. Tamika.
Tamika, we ain't got no love for Tamika.
No respect.
But so we'll move into this because he has to be brought up because I think without this guy too, Easy, all of West Coast rap, everything wouldn't exist, and that is Mr. Jerry Heller, and he just passed away.
For sure. Yeah,
And-
what was that, last year, I think? Or
I think
year
so.
before?
I think so. And as far as Jerry goes, you know, he gets a lot of hate, and
I think it's because he's a white dude.
yeah, but besides the race factor, his influence was huge because he knew the game.
Right.
And not only that, you know, Eazy was smart enough to know that too, because he was already pressing all of his own records, remember, and
Right.
selling them out of the back of his trunk.
DIY, man.
Doing it, yeah, do it yourself. But he knew to get to that huge status, he had to talk to a dude.
You got to know somebody.
Gotta
Right.
reach that upper level.
Right, you got to reach that level and go, which he did.
Show enough.
So with Jerry, his influence was huge. Looking at this in a positive, but at the end of the day, I think he taught Eazy some greedy shit too. That kind of destroyed the NWA as a group. Mike, what's your opinion on Jerry Heller?
Yeah, he probably seen Easy as like, this is the man. Everybody loves him.
He's like the Jim Morrison of the Doors. Like, you're the one everybody
Yeah,
wants.
Yeah.
He was a guy. He was the guy. So he was like, you're going to make it. You're going to go far because you're business savvy.
Right.
And I can school you on this.
And
So he
had the-
probably did pull him to the side a little bit, gave him more love.
Well, you got to think, too, he was also the only other guy who came from a little bit of money.
Right.
right. He had the money.
Right.
So he knew what he was doing money-wise. So he's like, me and him could be a good team together. We don't really need if this doesn't happen.
And Jerry always said that, like, in people, you know, other NWA members, like they had that son-father
Right,
bond. You know,
right.
like Jerry took
Yeah.
him under his
Right.
wing and wanted to teach him the business. You know, and like you said before, Eazy was the dude, but I think why he was more than any of the others was because of his voice. Like
Right.
Eazy-E has
Yeah,
the
dude.
most unique voice in
Yeah.
hip hop
Yeah,
ever.
Yeah.
for sure, dude. He sounded
don't
like
you
a
guys-
little kid. You
know.
know?
No,
Like,
and what it was to me, and I just thought about this too, was what I love about it. It's sinister.
it is. It's evil.
It's a sinister,
It's like
evil little motherfucker, like almost like, a
if
Chucky.
Yeah, I was just gonna say if Chucky was a rapper,
Yeah.
he done stole the words coming out of my mouth.
Just the
Yeah.
other day, I was thinking about that. Like, why so much did I like what drew me, and why do I still love it? And I've even seen interviews where they talked about, yeah, Eazy was good in the beginning, but he was really good on his 187 album. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
that's what really fell in love. That's where I was just like, yo, like that energy, that just that voice. I was just like, that's it right there. It's
Yeah.
just like when you get mad, it's like,
Yeah, when he would always do that, slow it
Yeah.
down. That was always
Yeah.
very sinister. But
Yeah.
he had that.
The
That's a good
motherfucking
call.
devil's son-in-law.
Yeah, yeah.
It was, and that was the thing.
Whatever.
But that's the thing. The reason why too is because he always, what I read up on and seen them was that he liked horror stuff. He was big into that. I remember
Yeah.
there was an article or something talking
Really?
about if you had to meet anybody, or if like somebody wanted if you wanted an autograph of somebody else, because everybody's always like, easy, let me get an autograph. What about you, Easy? What do you like? He's like, if I can get an autograph of anybody, it'd be a serial killer.
Really?
And they were like, wow, like, because he was into that shit. Yeah. But that's fine though. That's some, it's just that sinister shit. It was just
Well,
like,
he was in. From what I understand too, the cool thing what I really respect about Eazy and showed his business savvy was he was into a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he wasn't closed-minded
dude,
at
he was
all.
working. He was wanting to work with. I remember an old interview, and you can find it on YouTube where this chick's interviewing him and asking him like what he likes outside of like hip hop and stuff. He's like talk about like Guns N' Roses.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he did
Yeah.
something with Slash. Like Slash recorded.
Yeah, they were this close right after Homies for Life album. Like right there was going to be an NWA Guns N' Roses
Yep,
tour.
yep.
Yeah.
But that's when the group broke up.
Yep.
Could you
imagine
imagine?
that?
Would
Yeah.
have been violent, dude.
That
You want to talk about
impact?
fans getting crazy?
I mean, that would have just been cool, man. Like
that would have been like,
super awesome.
that would have been an awesome come together
Come
right there.
together.
You guys want to talk about racing? Nah, they came
No,
together.
yeah.
They're
like-
rock stars, but in our genre of hip hop,
Yeah.
we're rock
We're
stars.
rock stars.
And they were.
and they were punk rock
Dude,
too, you know.
Oh,
like
and I think
NWA.
Eazy liked all that, all the punk and like Nirvana and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you've
Yeah.
heard Dre come out and say Nirvana. I've seen pictures of a drummer named Joey Castillo. And for those of you that don't know who
Shout
he
out
is,
to Joey C. I
yeah,
love
Joey C. Joey C. Murder. He's a drummer for many bands. I think right now, who's he drum for? Zach Sabbath, amongst other bands. Queens of the Stone Age, Danzig.
Danzig. Power Trip, is that his other hardcore band? That he's
No,
drumming for right
I
now?
did just see
Power Trip. Sorry,
but
Joey.
he was in that video.
Trash Talk.
It might be.
Okay, whatever. But Joey's awesome. But,
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember you telling me. Go on with that story about Joey.
What's the video where they all go into the bank? Remember, and they're all like gangsters, like, all
Appetite
right.
for Destruction.
Yeah.
NWA Appetite
Yeah.
for Destruction.
We know you're in there. Come on. It's just so silly, dude. But there's a picture I saw on Joey's Instagram, and it's him in that outfit. He was like an extra or something. I don't know if he laid drums down for that or what, or he was just an extra in the video. But it was him chilling with Eazy and shit. And I'm like,
Didn't you
wow,
shout out
dude.
to him? Didn't you shout out to Joey about him?
Yeah. And I talked to him on Instagram, but I was like, dude, that was cool. Like, you were with the man. And he was like, yeah, man, like, Eazy was one of a kind. He was really cool, super nice. Like, and a lot of things I've seen in interviews about people who have interacted with him, what he was. He was like
nice
a genuine,
guy.
nice
Yeah.
dude.
Genuine guy.
Yeah.
Like a sweetheart almost.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, Mike, you sent me something. Eazy-E never turned down an autograph
never,
ever.
Never.
To me, I think he's that guy that he got out of the slums and all the hardcore shit. And I think he really, truly could appreciated that and wanted to use what he did and his star power
To give back.
Yeah.
to give back and
totally.
help others. I sincerely believe that.
And he
Yeah.
did. What was he did a lot of things for like abused kids and homeless kids, like the
Charities and everything.
Charities,
That's how he
like-
got into the
Oh,
White House.
dude, yeah, the White House.
Yeah.
We got to go into that.
Yeah, the White House.
Yeah.
He had dinner with George Bush.
Yeah.
Because all of his donations.
All his donations
Eazy
to make
was,
a wish and all that.
Eazy was savvy and really smart business too, because he knew controversy, like even with his diss with Dre or whatever.
Creates
like
cash,
it,
man.
It creates cash.
Right.
So-
Eazy-E.
He didn't-
Another Eazy-E.
Yeah, he didn't really hate him. He just was like, yo, you want to get on wax? I can do it too.
Right.
Yeah.
So he went the route of, well, I'll expose you. You want to make fun of me? Because it was funny. Dre's thing, it was
Right,
funny.
right.
He even said it.
Yeah.
Who was it? Him and Julio G, one of the other guys that worked at the 92.3 at the time or whatever. They were rolling around, and Dre Day came on. And they're sitting there and they're listening to it. And Julio said he kept looking over and he was laughing. And Eazy looked over and goes, man, what the fuck you laughing? And he goes, man, this shit's funny. He's like, fuck you, man. And he turned it up and they started jamming to it. He's just like, it's how it was. And then No Vaseline. What's his name from
Ice
Married
Cube.
with Children? No, the son.
Bud
yeah.
Bundy.
He had his own little club, I guess, in L.A. at the time. And Eazy would always go
David
there.
Faustino.
Is that his name?
I think so.
He would always, Eazy would always come through. They'd hang out.
What?
Yeah.
Can I get a whoa, Bundy?
There's pictures. I've
Yeah.
seen the pictures.
Yeah.
With them with
Swear to
Bud.
God.
Yeah.
And
That's nice.
He said that Eazy was in a club one day. They were hanging out, and he was upstairs, and he said No Vaseline came on. So he was sitting there, and everybody was kind of like this. But then, what'd you say the guy's name was?
David Faustino.
I guess he said he was looking around. He was like, "Oh shit," because he didn't know how Eazy was gonna react. He was like, because the song was hot at the time. So he's like, he said he looked up and Eazy was just sitting there just rapping the whole thing like this. And everybody was like, "Yeah," and he was like just rapping the whole thing to the crowd because he didn't give a fuck. He
Right,
knew.
right.
He's like, "That's fine. I'm not bitter about it. It is what it is, and I'm gonna
He
get
saw
paid."
it. See, I think in his business mind, in his business eyes, he got business eyes. I think he saw that as a positive because he's like you said, yeah, I can take that, and we're gonna make some money off this.
Yep.
That's like to go back to. We'll do a little quick crossover with the JP Dub.
Yeah.
When they do wrestling and they get guys together and they do programs, it's like, hey, Ric Flair used to always say, I know a guy that I can take and make money with. Let's do like a story per se. And that's exactly what that is, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's backtrack. We'll come back to this. I like where we're at with. We talked about Jerry Heller, and now we're kind of going into It's on Dr. Dre 187 I'm Killing album.
yeah.
Okay,
Right.
so
Best diss album ever.
it is. Now let's go into all of us personally. The first time we heard Eazy-E. Yeah, Wallace is pouring out a little 40 for E right here. Happy birthday, E. I'll start it off. The first time I remember Eazy-E, I was a little kid. Shout out to
super young.
Yeah. Shout out to my cousin Doug Sikora. He had 100 Miles and Running tape. He had the tape.
I love that artwork.
And that
dude.
artwork, I'm like, who is this? And at the time when we were little, it's like NWA was dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know, like you were like looking around your shoulder. It's like, oh, if I'm going to listen to this, I don't want my parents to
Right.
see.
Yeah.
No,
I don't
you
want
got your-
anyone to see.
You got
Right.
your ass beat.
So
for
my
that.
cousin Doug like showed me that. I'm like, cool. And he's like, no, you go ahead and listen. And like I remember I just hung out in the room and whatever. Fast forward, kind of forgot about E. I mean, I was so little.
Right.
But then I really remembered it's or Dre Day. So when that came out, MTV was blowing up that video,
yeah.
and all it was a diss on E. So I was kind of like, I don't know about Eazy-E. Like, I don't really know about this dude. I don't know if I like him. But then I remember we got into middle school, Mike. That's when I met you.
Right.
That's when we started hanging out.
Yeah.
And we went to the west side of Hobart, and we were there. And Nathaniel,
Were you a Mundell kid?
Yeah. Well, first I was Ridgeview from like.
The cemetery school, right?
Yeah. Like kindergarten, first grade. That's where like.
And then you met some Foreman Eagles.
yeah.
And then I moved over here and I went to Mundell.
But yeah, anyway, so I went to your house, and you liked Easy a lot. But then we went to the west side, and Nathaniel Yanez was there.
Yeah.
And he had Nathaniel, like, we went to his house, and I'll never forget, he had on his glasses. He had on like some Lokes, and he was rapping Real Compton City G's.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, and you guys were like, yeah, man, Easy's the man. I'm like, okay, cool. And then Bone Thugs came out with Thuggish Ruggish Bone.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So, this is like 94.
He's rocking
93-ish.
that,
90,
bro.
yeah, something like that. So I was like, whoa, like, oh, that's easy. Like, wait a minute. And then I listened to It's on Dr. Dre 187, I'm Killer. I'm like, no, this is where it's at.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, this dude is the real deal. So
Okay.
that's my
See, I didn't know that was your introduction.
that's my introduction.
See, I didn't. Okay.
I
okay.
mean, I had a little bit of when I was
Prior,
a kid, and then I
And I had
remember
the same thing.
NWA, or not NWA, but MTV was just all about Snoop and Dre, and they were
That's
always
all they were
dissing
about,
them.
Right.
dude.
And
All they were about.
And I do recall like BET showing Real Compton City G's video like real late, or Yo Wood like
Yeah,
real
that was
late.
late at night.
Well,
yeah.
you got to remember too, that video was more censored than Dre Day was.
Oh, yeah.
So they weren't,
That was straight up.
well, we're saying Real Compton City G's, but for
But,
those
yeah.
of you that know,
It's
know.
real mother.
Yeah. Real mother loving G's.
Right.
Real mother punkin.
Yeah. It didn't
He's
always
like
like.
PHUNKKIN.
Mike, will you be my pumpkin?
All right, Mike. What's your first experience with Easy?
Mine was my neighbors, just like how you said in the beginning, you had 100 miles of running. My neighbors, Nick Galler, Mike Galler, older guys, would be bumping NWA all the time, hanging out in front of the house, all that shit, coming home from school, whatever. They'd be hanging out. I'd always hear it. I'd be like, dude, that is some messed up stuff. I'm like, they're going to get in trouble.
Right.
They're listening to that and they're playing it loud out here. Neighbors going to call the cops. My mom's pissed. I'm just like, Jesus, So I'm just like, that is, what the hell are they listening
Over
to?
on Cavender?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm just like, wow, this is some crazy stuff. Every time I would walk past, or my sister, because my sister's age, this and that, all those, they'd be hanging out outside, whatever. I'm the little brother running around, all
With
that
the
stuff.
basketball jerseys on. You had that shaved underneath, kind of long hair.
Yeah, we
slick
all
back.
Yeah, the Sean
Pimp name slip back.
I was on the Sean Kemp tip.
He was.
Yeah.
He spread every time he shot the basketball. He spread those legs. So did I.
So we all did. But go ahead. Oh.
But anyways, yeah, that's how I met my introduction. But then didn't really listen to Easy until my sister was dating this guy, and she would be hanging out with her mom. They would like drive them places.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually needed a ride to the west side of Hobart to Nathaniel's house.
See, Nathaniel, that's where you at.
Yes.
You got to share this with
Yes,
Nathaniel on his
yes,
Facebook
Let
page.
Mike ride.
But we were in the car and we were driving, and I was in the back seat, and the song that was on that really got me to be like, dude, this is some crazy shit, and I fucking love it. I was like, that was that shit last time I heard This Is That Easy. Was fucking It's On.
When it's on.
Motherfucker, then it's on. Yeah, when I heard that shit, I was just like, Jesus Christ, dude. I was like, this dude's fucking, that's where the sinister shit, I was like, this dude's fucking crazy.
He hit the hooker heavy.
Dude, it was, went over the, same thing, going to Nathaniel's house, hanging out, all that stuff. And then, same thing like you. We'd be hanging out, Jason, Georgie, all of us playing hockey, because, Georgie loved the hockey. We'd be outside, street hockey, all of us hanging out together.
Winner of the JP Dub Nintendo 64 tournament.
Yeah,
champion.
shout out to Georgie.
Jay.
What up?
He did win.
Jason Voorhees, Georgie.
But we were at George Earl, because that's where we would always play. So we're sitting there, we're hanging out, and Nathaniel's just, he didn't play, he was just, kind of just hanging out. He had the Lokes on. He had a sweatshirt on, but he had the overalls on,
Oh.
the sweatshirt, and they were long, cross-colored.
Wow,
Yeah,
cross colors.
and he was sitting there, and he had headphones on, and he's just sitting there looking like a straight Vato Cholo, just sitting there, just rapping. He's like, well, it's the knockout definition of original baby gangsta.
Some
And I'm just
PG.
like sitting, and I'm like, what the fuck are you listening to? He's just like, you don't know shit about this. And I'm just like, and I didn't. And I really didn't.
And I didn't.
I did. I really didn't at that time. I was more Ice Ice Baby for, you know.
Oh, too cold.
So I'm just sitting, I'm just like, what the fuck? But then the more I kept listening, the more he schooled me, I was just like, hell yeah.
Yep.
And it just loved it. And the best thing, the whole thing, listening to him, catching up right after that, hanging out in my room. I got radio, always had like different speakers that I'd get all the wires together, try to make like the biggest fucking sound system
Try
bullshit.
to blow yourself up.
Yeah, I just have all the fucking speakers. And all of a sudden, here comes Thuggish Ruggish Bone Thugs and Harmony. I'm just like, this is it. I remember the day I was sitting there and I go, this is it. This is what I love.
Remember how dope he looked in that video too, with the
for the
fro?
love of money?
With the for the
love of money. Yeah.
He looked so original as a dude,
Yeah.
like just hanging on the corner
With
he had
the afro and the
he
lows.
had the pick in it. He had the lokes and all that.
He was evil looking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was like he had that sinister, evil thing. You know what I mean? So that's why I just loved the body. Like, and you never at the time, even when I first seen the videos or even got a glimpse of a picture or whatever, because at the time, of course, you know, with the cell phones and internet, all that, whatever. No. It's on TV and it's in a magazine. You never see his eyes. Always had the lokes on, and that's what I loved because it was like a mystery. I was just like, "Yo, this dude's like crazy. Like, like he wants to keep a mystery," and that's why I just loved about it because I was like, he just kept it like just, sinister. Like, yo, like
Total sinister.
that's how my story went.
Right. Well, you know, it was. I mean, when Dre left Ruthless Records, that was a huge blow because he was such a talent. Obviously,
Yeah.
He's probably go down as the best
producer
hip hop producer ever.
And Bone, when Eazy discovered Bone, that really helped. Obviously, you know, like it put Eazy-E back in the public eye.
Yeah, he was
you know?
happy.
Then they
said
put
he
out
was
the Art of
really
War.
Happy. Oh, dude, I love that.
Sorry,
album.
I know you love it.
I don't like it.
I hate that shit.
I love that album.
Get the out of here.
Wallace, wait, hold on. What's the? Here it is, right here, real quick.
Standing on the corner, straight slanging rocks. Oh man, here comes a crooked ass cop. So I dash, I ducks, and I hide behind.
You ever see him hiding behind a tree in the video?
Yeah, I'm watching it right now.
Don't see me.
Now my fat sack of rocks, hell yeah, I stuffed them.
Police on my drawers,
I had to pause. Yeah.
we still mother lover.
I got the clean version on right now.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Hell is my game.
Juicy mother freaking G.
Yo, Eric Wright, it's all the
Hey, you know what's
same.
funny,
Now
too?
those might trip on how
On the
I
Eric
stack
Wright part,
some
I never knew what he was talking about.
You didn't know that was his name?
No, at the time I never knew. I was like, who the fuck is Eric Wright?
I always loved how he did that
Yeah,
too.
he always he could carry a tune.
He could.
He did.
Yeah.
All right, Wallace. What's
turn.
your first Eazy experience?
Man, well, kind of. I mean, I knew about him before. Shout out to Coach Grabcheck, Dave Grabcheck. He was big in the NWA, and like you said, we were that MTV generation. So it was like before school, after school, Beavis and Butthead music videos. No matter what was on, we were watching that stuff. And I always remembered, like you said, the oversaturation of the Dre Day and like the Snoop Dogg stuff. So that's kind of how I became a little relevant with it. But Dave he was in the NWA. I remember him having like NWA's greatest hits and like hearing some of that. And I'm like, you know, I wasn't so much a rap guy back then. I was more like, you know, the grunge, punk, whatever, metal, Black Sabbath dude.
But didn't somebody show him to you?
This guy named James Joseph.
James Joseph who?
From the Cro-Mags. No, actually you did. Yeah. I remember you
I'm
like
patting myself on the back.
yeah, hardcore, and I'm glad you did. Like, you know, out of all the things you tried to push on me back then, like Tupac and Eazy and all that, and I got respect for Pac, you know, on some of the stuff, but I think he was just more mouth than anything, you know.
Yeah.
But Eazy just really resonated with me. Like, what really caught me with all those mixtapes he used to give me was like his voice, and we talked about how it is. It's like he sounds like some young ass kid, but it's so like sinister, like.
Yeah.
He just had that vibe about him. And dude, and then the content, it was not only was it brutal, I mean, me being a grindcore death metal singer guy, it was brutal, but it was funny.
Right.
You know, which is the same thing I look for in my metal stuff.
Yeah, he always had some humor behind him.
Yeah, dude.
Easy.
And his voice added to that because, like, give me that nut. Like, come on.
Come on.
Get it out, baby. What do you want me to do with it? It don't matter. Just don't bite it. That's the world's biggest dick.
Such a dick for daddy.
Juicing at the lips. You know, that was a Homies for Life track too, wasn't it?
It was.
But yeah, and I remember those tapes, dude. I'll never forget putting that shit in my boombox. And that was back in the day when you, if you didn't have a blank tape, you'd have to like put the spitballs in the top.
Or
like,
the tape over the top.
Yeah. I remember like making tapes of your tapes that you gave me. Like, so you'd give me this Eazy-E comp that was on like a regular blank cassette. And then I'm like, man, I had like this Guns N' Roses tape or something I didn't really like, you know, so I just put spitballs in it and record over it.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, that was my first encounter with him, and then it grew and it grew out of control, and it sucked, man. It was a sad day when he died. I remember actually I was living out of town back when he did die, and you were mailing me all that stuff.
Yeah.
With him. I remember I was around for that. Because remember, didn't we bury?
Yeah, we buried a little Eazy-E.
We buried a little casket. Remember, I had that little action figure.
Yeah.
It was from like some Image Comics thing. It was a little zombie guy, and he came in a casket. And we put like Eazy's picture in there.
Yeah, I cut it out. Remember the Bone Thugs East 1999 Eternal album?
Yeah.
They had them like in a ball.
Yeah.
We cut that out and we put it in the casket and we went and buried it in the woods.
Yeah.
When he died.
In the hill in the woods.
What woods?
I wonder if it's
Over
still
there by my parents.
Really?
There's a little, there's a little roundabout back there where
Yeah.
Justin Teller used to live.
Yep. Yeah, we buried it back there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan, but damn.
Yeah,
Oh, dude,
I didn't even go that damn far.
Yeah.
The only thing I did was cut his obituary out of the
paper.
Yeah, and then threw it on my fridge, and I think my brother was like, "Get this fucking shit out of here, ripped it up."
But yeah, I remember that. How about, do you guys remember when he passed away? I do. I remember I came home from school and it was Kurt Loder, MTV. What was
Always
that?
breaking the bad news.
Yeah. I remember he was always when people were dying. And it was
Him
like,
and Kurt.
I remember like they said when he contracted the HIV, and then I remember him saying
He
when
died the
passed
next
away.
day.
Yeah, he died in
Like,
like 2 weeks.
They
right?
announced
2 weeks.
Was it 2 weeks?
2
Because I
weeks.
thought they announced it and it seemed like a day later.
It started on like March 3rd.
Well, you
or
heard that
something
story. What was it? BG Knockout and them telling the story.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in a little bit. We'll get into that
Yep.
in a little bit. But I'm glad to hear the stories. Wallace, just to go back, I remember that's right when he passed away is when my parents built their new house, and it was right next to where you were living.
Yep.
And remember in the living room, they didn't even have furniture yet. We just had like, remember those 90s sound, like good CD players? What was the brand? Like AWIA?
Oh, yeah.
Iowa or
yeah. something.
Awaya or however you say it.
Mhm.
But we had that there, and we were just blaring Easy
Oh,
in the
man.
living room. Like after school, you'd come over. It was like middle school.
Yeah.
We would just blare it. So I remember
Robbie
that.
Frommel there.
Good
Yeah,
times.
Robbie Frommer.
Frommer.
Paris. I
God,
mean,
if I could find that kid today.
we could just go on and on. But I
Yeah,
mean, it was
yeah.
such a cool time of our life growing up. And it
Yeah.
sucks that Easy, like he had such an impact on us, but like we all got into him really when he passed away.
Yeah,
much.
we did. But,
know?
and even still, though, we were all super young. You know, I mean, finding out about like NWA and stuff, I mean, we were still in elementary school.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I said, with Dave listening to NWA, I think it was like 4th grade.
Right.
And even Nirvana for then, it was like, you
Yeah,
guys
mine-
shouldn't be listening to that.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know?
mine was like 12, 13. I remember
Yeah.
because I was like, yo, like, because to me around that time, as far as school goes, because I wasn't in it much, but as far as it goes,
He's a bad kid.
He was a bad kid.
before high school, middle school, I loved it because of everything discovering everything from the music
Yeah.
to the girls to the friends.
Yeah.
It all came together. You
Came
go to the
together.
parties, we'd play all that shit
All
with
of
the
it,
bone and
yeah.
all that, making out with girls to bone,
Yeah.
And then getting bum, 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 bum.
all that.
It's my Uncle Charles, yo.
But yeah. I remember too, shout out to Joe Skripek, rest in peace.
Yes,
Oh,
rest in
man,
peace,
man.
He knew how
Joe
obs-
piss on shit.
Yeah, he
Yes.
knew how obsessed I was with Easy. He's like, Joe, I got something for you. And it was like something out of a magazine. It was like an old Rat Pages. Remember that? Remember that old
right.
magazine?
Yeah.
And like Joe gave me, like he tore the picture out. He's like, I took this out of a library. I'm like, thanks, dude. But we would do that. Like we would hang. I remember I would hang it up in my locker, like
Yep.
in middle school, like
Yep.
pictures of E.
Yep.
Yep.
And a shout out to Ronco too, because I started hanging out with Ronco in middle school,
Yeah.
and like Paris and all
Yeah,
them.
yep.
And Ronco had like an old Rap Sheets picture of E, like when he's wearing the striped shirt that's like on the back
Oh,
of
yeah.
it's
The
on
giant
Dr. Dre.
striped polo?
Yeah, those giant striped polos.
Okay, yeah.
But I'll never forget Ronco always had that. Like when I first started to hang out with him, he had that cut out and it was on his bedroom door. So like Rocco was listening
Yeah,
to E, like
that's how we all kind of was like,
we all like converged
and
together.
then we played basketball.
Yeah.
and we talk about it.
When
and
you
we
think
listen.
about it, though, how did Eazy-E resonate so well with middle class white guys from Hobart?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Dude, he
That's a
resonated
weird
like that
question.
with guys like us everywhere.
Yeah,
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Because it's music.
Yeah.
Because you talk
Yeah.
to anybody that doesn't really even care about hip hop rap.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, NWA, Easy. Yeah, they were the shit.
Yeah,
That's the only thing.
Dude,
Speaking of that,
and to
Mike-
be honest, I like Eazy more than I like NWA. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put that out there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, especially when it comes
sure.
to the
Solo
187 album.
stuff? Yeah, 187 I'm
That's
killing.
the best thing I ever heard from
I mean,
Eazy.
honestly, real quick, let me.
Yeah.
And I know we're all kind of biased on this, but I'm gonna throw this question out there for you too.
Okay.
Out of all the NWA members that put albums out, solo albums, I mean, obviously, if you want to talk financially, which maybe technically can't even do that because Dre would probably destroy it. Well, that's I say technically because dude Eazy got a cut of the Chronic.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to get into that too.
So, but honestly, who do you think out of those dudes that left and did their solo shit had better albums?
It-
Yeah, it's a bias. I'm an easy guy. I mean,
I am too.
Cube.
you'd
you
have to
know,
say Cube
It's Cube.
went on technically made it
Yeah.
better. Now, your own
Yeah,
opinion.
but we're not. Yeah, we're talking in your own opinion.
wise.
What
oh,
was
yeah.
your favorite out of
Oh,
all the guys?
Yeah, it's Easy's
Yeah,
all
Eazy.
day.
For sure.
It's on Dr. Dre, and it's
Yeah.
only an EP.
Yeah.
It's not even an
I
actual
think
album.
Easy stuff to me, his solo stuff still felt more like gangsta, more
Oh yeah, because
not to be a bad pun, but more ruthless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, because it was because that's who he is. That's
And-
what his aim was.
And his crew and dude like DOC and all those guys and BG Knockout. I mean, he had some
And that's what I
real
love
gangsta ass shit.
And that's
like,
what I love
dudes
about
rolling
them.
with them, dude.
Bringing BG Knockout and Dre, writing their stuff. Dre,
There was no studio
He doesn't even
gangsters
get
in
credit. He's the one that
yeah, gangsta
wrote that
Dre
whole
stuff.
album, basically.
he was almost like a DOC.
He was.
Right.
When DOC
He
left.
left.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
They were both phenomenal writers, very great writers, and even their album, Real Brothers. BG
I love that album.
You are the one that introduced me, and I loved it, and I still
I'm
listen
patting
to this
myself
day.
on the back
Yes,
right
you
now.
are, and I still love it to this day. They never really got credit where credit was due for them, like how Snoop had the Dog Pound,
Remember they had
Grow Up
Dog
Dance,
Pound,
and all of them.
Killer?
You know, they
Wasn't that his cousins or something?
yeah, well, yeah,
That was Snoop's cousins.
yeah, Snoop's cousin.
Anorexic rapper. You know, here's the weird thing. You guys have heard that, you know, when he was with Dre and he did all that, I saw an interview. Now, whether this is true or not, he didn't want to diss Eazy. He was like a huge Eazy
Oh, Snoop?
fan. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
This is true.
and that's what he said. He was just like,
Yeah, he was like
he's like, I
very
had
much-
to, because Dre was on that tip. Everybody was rolling with Dre.
Yeah, it's like you roll with it.
Yeah.
You know, you're
Well,
down
he knows
with your
he's going to
dudes.
make money, you
And
know?
the same thing with BG Knockout, though. BG Knockout, I guess there's an interview, the same thing. They got Snoop,
It's on
Dog
Vlad.
Pound. Yeah, and he was just sitting there. He's just like, they're talking about, they didn't say the name. Well, I think they did say Knockout's name, but they were like, kind of mocking him, saying, oh, yeah, sorry, cuz, because, I'm with Eazy, so I had to, I'm saying? It's opportunity, this and that. I just had to do it. If I was with y'all, I'd be dissing him. Okay, get your money, partner. Like, they were getting mad, but it was like, how you going to get mad and say that, Snoop, when you're doing the same thing to Eazy and you love him? You're doing it with Dre, so you can't knock out,
Right.
for
There you
doing
go,
that.
yeah.
And just what it is. And, yeah, even Knockout said, he's just like, when Vlad asked him, he's just like, what if, not even in rap, somebody else tried dissing you like an old blues singer. Somebody's like, it doesn't matter. He's like, I get at him.
Right.
I had to.
I had to. And now we'll go into this iconic album, I think, for all of us. It's on Dr. Dre, 187, I'm Killer.
Hold on.
Hang on.
Pour out some, yeah.
Then now I got one. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Okay, get that.
Do you know where
lean.
the comes from?
187, kill him. Like, kill him.
Yep.
Kill him.
Like, kill him.
Kill
Kill
him.
him. Kill him.
Kill
Kill him.
Yeah, I saw some stuff at work. It's called Kill 'em.
What?
Really?
Yeah, it's like some stuff you put in like trucks to kill algae and shit.
Cool.
It's just called Kill 'em.
But back,
Put that 40 down.
but yeah. But yeah, put that 42 ounce down. But going back to that album, like you said, Wallace, MTV was really, really pushing the Chronic
Oh,
in
yeah.
Dre Day.
Yeah.
And Eazy was kind of a mockery. They were,
was.
If it
they were
weren't
making
for
fun.
MTV,
Yeah.
I don't think that album would have been as successful.
Exactly. But getting back to this album by Eazy and the diss, he had a lot of respect, obviously, in L.A., and there's a backstory about this, Mike, you probably know. When they shot Real Compton City G's, Suge Knight did everything in his power to try to make that not happen.
Right.
He did it every time it would be played on a radio station anywhere.
yeah.
If they heard it, they would go to, if they were close to it or they can make it, they get to that radio station or whatever and try to shun the.
He knew it
shut
was a
down.
better diss.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and
Remember, it's like he had that old video. It's like Eazy's holding up Dre's driver's license or something.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
See, Dre, you ain't from Compton.
You ain't even, he's like, you ain't even got one of these.
Yeah.
And he had the rollers in his hair and all that. Yeah.
Hell yeah. But I mean, that shows the impact of Eazy's, I don't know, just power in
Yeah.
LA.
Respect.
Yeah, and respect
Yeah.
because I talked about this on other episodes when Russell Simmons was coming out to the West Coast to look for artists
Yeah, yeah.
to get on Def Jam.
Yeah.
He went through Eazy first.
Yeah, he felt like he was like, I'm on your territory, so
Yeah.
hey man, out of respect, is it cool if I search around and this and that? I don't know who you got, this and that. He was just like, go ahead, man,
Yeah.
get your money. He's
Get
like,
your money, man.
You go anywhere. We should all be able to go anywhere and not have to have beef or intervene. Do what you want. But that was the awesome thing about it because East Coast first coming out with hip hop and all their stuff, and like Eazy said, they're rapping about this and that. They took note. They love music. Hey, let's do ours. They're almost like the same thing as them. You see Eazy with the clocks and all that because they see Public Enemy, all them because they were trying to figure out where to go.
Yeah.
Then Eazy was like, "Yo, let's just wear what dudes on the corner
Shit,
wear."
that
Just-
big clock is whack.
Yeah.
Fuck.
We're wearing khakis.
Yeah.
We're wearing khakis.
Yeah, they're just like, yo, let's just wear black
a cuff and a
t-shirts,
crease.
all black. Yeah.
The West Coast swag was way better.
The
I
all
loved
black.
it. I loved that was my thing though. I still to this day is just like it was just
You can't let it go.
It just feels clean and just like
Yeah.
that swag like
Well, you know, too,
Sporting
going to
Ben
their
Davis.
colors, if we want to go back to the
Shooting at
gangbang
Janavis.
and all that, you know, they were very Crip affiliated, I believe, right?
yeah.
Easy was.
Yeah. Well, they didn't want to do. That's why they chose like the Sox and the Raiders. They didn't want to
Because it was neutral.
Yeah, exactly.
They ain't gonna try to get aside this and that. Just the same thing as like a.
But it was more brutal to me.
Yeah, it was.
It's all black.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
all black.
dude.
It's like it's
that
just
White Sox too, repping it, dude.
Oh,
like I,
hard.
you know,
and that's how
why the
I got
Midwest
into being
boys
a
love
Sox
it.
fan.
White Sox,
Yeah.
yeah. You didn't see Eazy-E wearing a Cubs hat.
No, hell no.
So all you Cubs fans out there,
You might see Drake wearing one, but not Easy.
he's sensitive.
That's flakes.
Easy wasn't wearing no
Nah.
Cubs hat.
No.
He was-
Nah. A White Sox.
all
hat.
West Coast artists almost kind of took into that.
When that
Yeah.
hat came out, it
Oh,
was
dude,
huge.
that and that and the
Remember-
Raiders shit
Oh, yeah.
back then. I mean, you saw that ESPN that 30 for 30, right?
Yep.
And it was what? It was Snoop and Cube.
Yep.
I mean,
Well, here's
Come
a
on.
weird tidbit fact, Mike. You might know about it. When that White Sox hat came out, Easy would take.
Yep. Oh, yeah, I
he
already
would
know where you're
take-
going.
You already know.
Yeah.
He would take the stitch out of the O.
No. Is it though?
It was the
Yeah,
O.
yeah, yeah, you're
It
right,
was
you're
the O, so it looked like sex.
So I had an E on it. Yeah. So it looked like sex.
Sex.
And dude, and
There's some pictures you could see it.
yeah, you got to blow it up. You got
Splash.
kind of like yeah.
Splash.
as you can see, I straight waxed that ass.
But you know what? There was a you know how people like on Instagram. There's a lot of these pins now. Like people are selling pins like that you could put on your hat, like the label pins.
Okay. Yeah.
They did one. It was called Eazy-E, and it was the White Sox emblem, but they made it so it looked like sex.
No.
Yeah, I should have bought that.
Nice. Yeah, you
Should've
should
bought
have.
that.
Dang.
But
Hey, you
yeah.
still got that shirt?
I do. I'm glad
know what I'm talking
brought
about?
that up. Do you remember that? You remember that shirt?
What?
That Eazy-E shirt? I still have it.
Which one?
From when we were kids. Remember on the back, it looks like a Los Angeles Kings thing, but it says Eazy-E and it says Compton, and then on the very bottom, it has him holding a microphone
Like a
as a machine
cartoon.
gun. It's a cartoon.
Oh yeah,
Do you
yeah.
remember
yeah,
that?
Yeah, you have
I
that
still have that T-shirt.
Damn, dude.
I bet you I could sell that online for like $500.
Dude, I remember because you let me borrow. You're like,
Yeah.
don't mess this up.
I let everybody wanted to borrow that shirt
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah, we
I
loved
still
it.
have it.
We love it.
I remember it fit really long. Like we could
Yeah.
probably wear it now.
Dude, you know what's crazy? That you said Ben Davis earlier. Now earlier I was trying to find with the shirts that I got. I'm like, nah, I wore this one that day. I was like, nah, I can't wear this one. I was gonna wear because I still have it because I got it from Sergio because he got it when he went to Arizona when he lived out there, and we would always argue about this too. And he's like, yeah, the Ben Davis. I'm like, yeah. He goes, yeah. You know what that is on the pocket?
the monkey.
I didn't know that. Now at the time with cigarettes. Selling stuff, that's when they started taking
Camel Joe.
all the stuff that you can get off the
R.I.P.
cigarette pack, and you hold, you get all the points, whatever, and you can send it
Oh,
in.
the Marlboro Miles. And
Yeah,
stuff.
well, they had work shirts And they had the
yeah.
Marlboro. Well, I'm sitting there looking at it, and I couldn't see the monkey. I go, "No, man, that's from Marlboro, man. That they get it." He's like, "No," he's like, "No, that's Ben Davis. That's a West Coast thing." I'm like, "No,
That is. It's like
West
West
Coast
Coast Dickies.
yeah, I didn't know that." And I'm just like, he's like,
I
"Watch,
need
I'll bring you
some.
one."
I have
and
one.
I still have the same blue
Wear it at
one,
work.
and I still have it.
You do?
Yeah, and he brought me how you were saying the old stripe thing that he wore.
Yeah, those striped polos.
It's called Old Town.
Was it Old Town? I
Yes.
thought it was Ralph Lauren. I thought he was straight
Old
up
Town.
polo.
You know, yeah, they make really nice flannels too. It's that West Coast.
It's that West.
Those-
it's the
I
West
can
Coast
never
thing.
find those. I am constantly. The other
What, the
last week,
flannels?
yeah, I was like, at Bass Pro or wherever I'm at, like I had to get camping stuff for Full Terror, and I'm like seeing all these flannels. I'm like, what the shit? There's no. I want that big, thick ass
Yeah,
flannel.
yeah.
I want it in a
Vans
dark
have
color
some nice
scheme.
ones.
Like nobody ever has it.
You got to
dude.
go online for that.
Old Dominion
It was
has
easy.
some nice ones too.
Old Dominion, like the trucking company.
Yeah, but it's Old Dominion flannels.
Nice.
Nice. Isn't this crazy? We're all like 35 and we're talking about Easy's clothes.
Wardrobe.
And how we still want to dress
Still, dude, it's still street, man.
I still
It's
remember.
still Chucks,
I know
still
Chucks.
Dickies.
We all wore Chucks,
And I
because
still
of
got them. I was
Easy.
gonna wear them
Yeah.
today, but I was just like, I already wore them, so I was just like, I'm gonna wear some.
That's why Chucks too, like they're the universal shoe. But with Easy, back to it's on Dr. Dre 187 Killer album, pouring out the 40. He's got the shotgun laying against the
Yeah.
wall, and he's just wearing a pair of Chucks. And I remember we were so obsessed we would have to have our laces
The
straight.
way it was laced.
Was that the
He had-
blue Chucks?
he had
too?
blue, too.
I wore those on my first Decrypt tour.
Nice.
I still have one.
Remember, you had to have the laces straight.
Straight. Yep.
Yep.
And it took me forever to try to get it, and I
You had to
finally
find
got it
like the right girlfriend that knew how to do it.
Yeah, exactly, because they knew how to do that
Yeah, like, hey, do you know how to do that?
shit.
Like,
Yeah, because
it would take forever.
But they knew how to do that stuff because they would always start messing with their shoes.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude. Wow,
very
dude.
still
Yeah.
influential. Still, man.
And my other thing is, I remember one day standing outside of Anthony's house on Lincoln, and you were just walking through, and you came up and you had
Talking about burrito.
yeah.
Shout out to Burrito.
Don't call him burrito.
Well, you don't like that?
No, he hates it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
it doesn't
Anthony.
matter.
Sorry.
Man, forget him. Forget that burrito. No.
Yeah,
no,
forget him. Yo, fuck him.
No, we love you.
No,
homies.
yeah,
We
it's
love
all
them.
good.
We were standing in front of his house, and you come walking through, and you have wife beater on, you have a black hat backwards, and you just got a pair of like khakis or something, and you had them all creased up.
Yeah,
And
you
had
got
them
it, the
all-
cuff and the
Chucks,
crease,
and I'm just
man.
like,
Musically meditated in the house,
dude,
man.
I was like sitting there, and Anthony was like, "What the hell?" And I'm just like, "Dude, where'd you get those?" Anthony's like, "You guys are crazy, man. You guys are way too much on that." Because then after that, that's where he's like, "Yo, these are Dickies." I'm like, "What?" I had to go get me a pair. I had to get me everything Dickies. Had to be the shirt.
Dude, I don't wear anything like.
You still
I'm
wear
in,
Dickies, don't
yeah,
you?
I'm in my work clothes now, but I mean, even some Dickies I use for work clothes. But that's my standard wardrobe when it comes to pants and shorts. It's like almost like Ernest P. Worrell, It's like this. It's like metal shirt or whatever shirt I'm wearing, but it's always Dickies and Chucks for the most part.
See,
I rock the Vans
when it comes to
here and
shorts,
there.
I love the Dickie shorts.
The Cholo shorts, dude.
Yeah, they're the best.
I
Dude.
love the brown
Yeah.
Dickies, dude.
Yeah.
Brown, they're so hard to find now. Like
Yeah.
you have to go online. I did find a pair of brown Dickies pants. But
all right. Let's get back. Easy, you have influenced us into this
Dude,
day on what we wear.
Yeah, no shit.
Dickies get you hickeys.
It's true. But let's go back to digress into Suge Knight and
F
his
Suge Knight.
and his impact.
The devil.
And here's a weird tidbit. I know
hate
Mike and I, probably Justin knows this too. Easy knew he was a problem right off the bat. He was a
Right.
bodyguard for
Right.
NWA.
Right.
And Easy pulled Jerry Heller to the side and said, "We should kill this man. He's a problem."
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, we should kill this man.
And Jerry pulled him aside. He's like, "Hey, man, we're a multi-million-dollar company.
Yeah.
You want to
Like
kill?"
we could probably do it.
You know what's crazy about
No, but he's like, you really want to sabotage what we have,
Right.
this
Yeah.
empire,
Right.
And talking some sense into
See,
him.
and the crazy thing is in the movie when he's talking about that, when he goes in the backyard, he sees he's sitting there after he gets supposedly beat up.
I hate that movie.
We'll get into that too,
Yeah.
because that shit
I already
ain't
know
true.
Joe's all over that. He
Oh,
has-
wiggity whack.
he was the best. How I thought, and it probably was, is the way he said it to Easy was, he's like, "Why do I got to be the bigger man?" He's just like, "Because it's better than being a dead man." You know what I'm saying? And he was probably like, "Now this is not even that, but after this goes to like anything." He goes, "Your problems will be over, obviously, because you're gonna be dead." And his no, his problems will be over because he'll be dead, and your problems will just be starting. That's like the best line for anything. Like, you're gonna do this?
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but Easy being on that tip. I mean, yeah, of course, because that's how real he was. He was like, dude, we gotta get rid of this dude. So I'm gonna get at him.
Right.
And the thing was, Easy was actually talking to somebody else about it. Jerry walked in on him saying it. He came into the office one day because Easy was talking to one of the security people, and Jerry comes walking in. And he's like, hey, what's up? And they were talking, and he goes, what are you guys talking about? And that's when he was like, Suge, man. I was like, we got to get rid of him, man. He's going to be a problem. He's like, all right, so what? He's going to be a problem. He's like, nah, this dude's going to be a problem. I think I should take him out. And there was other interviews that people, like reporters and all that, Easy would take in his house and stuff, and he would show him his closet and everything in it. And he'd be like, Easy would show us, like, stuff that we're like, I don't think we can put this on camera. And for some reason, he wanted us to see it. He would have closets full of guns. Like, he was ready for war.
Yeah.
And he was like, and he didn't care. Like, he would take them out. He would show everything. We're like, Easy, we can't really get all this on. But it was like he wanted us to because he was ready.
Well, here's the thing, though. Here's how Eazy won in this whole situation after the NWA breakup. Shook took Dre, the DOC, Michelle A, whatever. But there was a contract,
Yeah,
right?
he's still signed.
Still signed.
Dre didn't know he was signed as
Yeah.
exclusive
producer.
producer and an exclusive artist.
Right. So, Dre Day only meant Eazy's payday.
Exactly.
And I believe it was for like
7 years.
7 years.
He made a lot of money.
A
In those
lot.
7 years,
A
dude.
lot.
That album was like platinum.
This is where we're going to go with this, all right? We're going to go into the conspiracy of Eazy-E's death.
Okay.
Who would want to take out a guy
Suge Knight.
that would, just make whatever the percentage was, 20% off or a nickel off every album?
25% every
Suge
copy.
Knight.
Was it?
Yeah.
Every copy?
25%. Or 25 cents. every
Right,
copy.
whatever. Yeah, a quarter every copy.
Yeah.
Who would want to take him out?
Suge Knight.
Suge Knight? Dr. Dre? Could we even say that?
Suge Knight.
It would have to be Suge Knight. Dre's not going to do it.
Dre was a puppet in that shit, dude.
Right.
He didn't, at that time, he
Yeah,
didn't
Dre,
know.
it was...
It was either he was a puppet for Eazy or he was a puppet for, and I hate to use that really with Eazy, but
Right.
he didn't have that mentality, the business mentality, until after he got
All the
blew
stuff,
up.
yes.
Suge Knight copied his business mentality off of Eazy-E.
Yes,
Yeah.
he did.
He sat there, and that's what he did. So here we go. Here's the where's that Suge Knight thing?
What was the anal
play
con
that.
song?
Suge Knight diss on.
What?
Joe knows what
I
I'm
know what you're
about.
talking about. I know what you're talking about. But you guys really think? You think there's a conspiracy behind Eazy's death?
I kind of do.
Mike, go ahead. Mike, go ahead.
I do in a sense because Suge Knight, obviously, even with Tupac, yeah, he might have loved him, all that stuff, but like he really didn't care after he died.
He felt betrayed. I think he felt betrayed by him,
Who?
By Tupac.
Who, Suge?
I think he was. I think Tupac was going to go somewhere else.
Yeah, he was, but still, even with Eazy and Dre, okay, yeah, they broke up. Dre went in separate ways. They did their little songs. They still had love for each other. They were gonna do probably
No,
another
I'm not.
album.
I thought you were talking about Suge.
No, I am. But this is the thing, the person that Suge is.
Yeah, he's a bitch.
Exactly, and he is where he deserves to be.
He does.
Oh,
I mean, I don't like
does.
to
Did you see
judge.
him hit those people?
Hold on, real quick. Let me play this little episode clip. So everyone that's listening, you let us know if you think it's a conspiracy or not. I mean, I don't know why this dude.
Is this the Jimmy Fallon thing?
Yeah, this is the Suge Knight.
Jimmy Kimmel.
I wanted
Jimmy
to-
Kimmel.
Yeah, I wanted to bitch smack him.
Yeah.
Whoops, wrong one. We'll get back to it. I don't know what happened. Well, anyway, everybody could go back.
Yeah, you can look it up.
He goes on there and he
Yeah,
talks
tell us,
about.
Wallace.
He goes on. It was Kimmel, right?
Yes, come on.
And he makes.
It's not on YouTube. It's like I went to it, but it sent me to Vlad with Lil
Really,
E talking
shit,
about
it was on YouTube.
Yeah.
It was.
Well, long story short, he makes a joke about what they were talking about somebody with AIDS or whatever, and he makes the joke of like, oh,
He was talking about violence and everything, but he was talking about
Right.
kids. You don't want to go to jail these days. And
Yeah.
if you do it smart. Do it this way. Go ahead.
yeah, and then he's like, you don't want to get that Eazy-E,
That slow death.
That slow
that
death.
slow death, and it's like.
That somebody will
I
poke
think
you with a dirty
didn't-
needle.
Yeah.
Didn't
he's-
Kimmel announce, like, kind of like say, like, are you insinuate, like, did you just? He said something
He
on
seemed
there. I
very
thought.
awkward.
Well, after he was kind of like, oh man, because in the beginning with
Did you just
Shook,
admit to killing him?
right? In the beginning, he was kind of like mocking and making fun of Shook because he had a bulletproof vest on.
Yeah.
And he's just like, what's up with the bulletproof vest? That's where the conversation started because he's like, what's up with the bulletproof vest? He's like, oh, you just got out. This is a new look. He goes, man, he's like, it's not even like that these days. Kids in Compton don't even do that. They do this, just like you just said. They get an AIDS patient and they draw blood from him and they go and shoot you with it. They'll poke you with it, and they start laughing. It's an Eazy-E thing, slow death, and then somebody like, oh,
Yep.
everybody in the crowd's like,
Dude, that pissed me to fuck off, dude.
And he's just like,
Still makes me mad.
yeah, and he throughout the
Karma's
whole
a
interview,
bitch.
he was just like, he was
Karma is, but it's not enough, man. Because well, whether we don't necessarily know,
Right.
But man,
But it's almost like you can
dude.
follow, you see it. Look where he's at. Look where he's. I mean, obviously, that's what I'm saying with the Pac thing. Like, yeah, him and Eazy might not.
How come? And here's the other thing: if he had that for a long time, how come none of his lovers that he was with
Exactly.
at the time
And
had
None of
that?
his children
Exactly.
either.
None of
None
them.
of them.
None of them.
And
None
and another
of his
thing,
kids.
and if there was,
That was some gangster shit that went down.
And if that really happened from somebody, when you think
That
somebody
could-
be coming along, I'm
Hey.
suing. I'm
Yeah.
suing.
Hey, you know what?
Yep.
This is a crazy thought, but it's even bigger than Suge Knight. That's like an Interscope, Jimmy Iovine.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly. That's why.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's
hey
weird.
man, we don't want Easy and Ruthless Records to keep taking a cut off of
Right.
this. We want to go our own
Illuminati.
direction.
Right, it's something, dude. It's just crazy, and that's why even with Dre, like,
Do you
it
think
makes
Cornell
me mad.
killed himself?
It
Next
makes me-
episode.
it makes me mad about him with Dre because, yeah, I mean, he might show love on records and whatnot, but it's like he knows what he did. He
Yeah.
knows his mess ups during the relationship and all that, because when he supposedly, now that this is where you can come in and tell your story, got jumped in the studio or
Yeah, we'll go there.
whatever.
We'll go there.
Dre was the one that called him.
That set it up.
Yeah, hey, I think we can work this out.
Yeah,
Come on over.
for those of you that don't know, and if you've watched the Straight Outta Compton movie, Eazy-E was not jumped and bitch slapped and portrayed the way he was in that movie. And I always go back to this dead men tell no tales. You know what I'm saying? So Eazy wasn't there to defend himself. Shame on Tamika for letting that happen too, because that did not happen. You could watch a really cool interview on Vlad TV with BG Knockout, and BG's
Dude,
like,
with BG's, hold
yeah,
on.
what-
I'm sorry to
go
cut
ahead.
you off.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
His interviews on that are the best.
They're great. Wallace, you've watched them too.
Oh yeah.
Because him, Drayson, Bone, whatever, they were the last ones there during his timely death. They know everything, especially BG Knockout.
Right.
Especially BG.
They
'cause
said that, dude. They were recording. BG's like, we were recording
A diss
and
song
Yeah,
towards the Dog
Eazy-
Pound.
Eazy was just all of a sudden like couldn't do shit.
Yeah,
like,
he
was
came
fucking
out.
deathly
He
ill.
came out of the room because he said he was waiting for him. He's like, "Yo, E, come do your verse. Hang on." He's talking to his group, HWA, Hose with Attitude.
Watch that stuff running down your leg. Juicy, juicy.
Remember those cassette tapes?
Those because Rob Valdivia,
We're getting off topic, but yeah.
Tape World.
and he was in the room talking to him, and then BG was like, "Yo," he's like, "I done smoked all my weed." He's like, "I'm tired." He just kept telling E, he's like, "E, come on, man." He's just like, "Do your verse." He's like, "All right, be there." He goes, "So last time I got fed up, I got up, went out in the hallway, and he's laying up against the wall, kind of sitting there. He's like, take a deep breath, like,
yeah.
and he's like, "What's wrong, man?" He's like, and he's always known for bronchitis.
What? Yeah, I was gonna say.
So he's just like, "What's up?" He's like, "Man, this bronchitis is kicking my ass." He's just like, "All right, well, what's up?" He's just like, "Hang on a minute." And he said he kept breathing hard, and he was just like, he had to lay over, and he was almost like passing out. He's like, "Dude, he ain't feeling good." He got his bodyguards, the twins. They go sumo
Those
guys.
big
yeah.
sumo dudes.
He's like,
He's
"Yo,
always
you
in
guys
the
got to take
pictures.
him in." Took him in. Boom. Hey, he's got AIDS. He's got AIDS. All of a sudden, he's got AIDS.
It was always
pissing
weird.
me off right now.
It was always
Not gonna
weird
lie.
too. Like when you do the research on this, how they were switching them in different rooms.
Yeah, that was another thing.
And
In the
different
beginning,
floors,
in the
you know?
beginning,
It was like,
everybody
why
can
are you
see
moving
him.
them around?
Everybody can see him. Next time, he goes to a different floor. Only so many. Next time, just his parents. That's it. Because even like Frost was one of the guys that really
That's a
spoke
good
out.
conspiracy. Talk about that
Yes,
one.
Frost. He was a Latino rapper on there. One of the
Was that Informer? Oh no, that was Snow.
no, and that guy was actually. You know what about this dude? Real quick, he actually was a gangster. He actually, before he made that album, he just got out of prison for attempted murder.
Who?
Snow.
What?
I swear.
All right, let's get back on Frost.
But anyways, Frost being a Latino rapper, he's on Eazy's thing. Him and Eazy, they loved each other. He got Frost on there. You know, he showed him love. He put him on, all this stuff. Well, Frost says the last time he talked to Eazy and he was telling him stuff, and he was just like, "Hey, stay away from Suge. No matter what, stay away from him. Don't talk to him. Don't ever interact with this man." He said that was the last thing he told Frost because they were talking about everything. He's like, "Man, what's up, dude?" And he's just like, "I don't know, man. You know, this and that." He's just like, and even BG Knockout said when he visited Eazy in the hospital, he knew he said he was looking at Eazy. Eazy knew something was up, but he goes, it was one of those things where I was looking at him, we were talking, and he was telling me about what's going on, and I knew what he was getting at, but he didn't want to say it because there was other people in the room. Like,
see, and here's the thing too. What pisses me off, especially with like celebrity deaths like that, it almost seems like the authorities just don't give a shit.
they don't.
You know, like why wasn't this ever pursued more?
Yeah, exactly, and that's
Same
what
thing
Frost
with
said.
like why, like Kurt Cobain or Tupac.
Exactly.
There's a lot of money, there's
Yes,
a lot of money
yes,
behind
hush, hush,
this.
hush,
That
hush.
makes you think of the greater picture of who is controlling everything.
And that's why going back to the
Everything.
conspiracy, in my opinion, if
Jesse
that,
Ventura.
yeah, no, it's Jimmy Iovine and Interscope.
And it's so weird, dude. It's the craziest thing because you.
I don't think it's Suge. I mean, Suge.
No.
No.
Suge probably knows of whatever goes on, obviously, because he's. Yeah, I mean, he was a figure, this and that, but he was like another image. He just was playing along with everything. Suge, it just went to his head. Suge was a college dude. He was from the neighborhood. Yeah, his family lived in the neighborhood. He never gangbanged, none of that stuff. But obviously, look at the guy. He ain't gonna want to mess with him. He's a big dude. He could probably, do damage. He was a football. He played NFL.
NFL.
What?
Yeah,
He played for a couple.
He played for the Rams.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then he got injured or something happened, and then he stopped. And then he starts becoming a bodyguard for Bobby Brown, for everybody.
I don't see nothing wrong.
That's R. Kelly.
Oh wait, sorry. Truth about a Roni.
But yeah.
Anyways, and then, like you said, in the music thing, before he stepped in it, is because he even said in an interview, he's like, how I got everything and the knowledge, Eric would always tell me what he did.
Suge said that?
Yeah, he goes, because they were friends.
Yeah.
They were friends. But he was like, Eric would always be like, yo, man, that's why we did this because of this, and that's why we do this. Of course you're going to gain knowledge from work. So then he was like, I'm going to do all this, and I'm going to pimp everybody. Who's going to mess with Suge?
Right, because he's a big human being.
Exactly.
All right, now we're going to move on to this. If Eazy were still alive, what would he be doing now?
Porn.
Porn.
All right, we'll
What,
start with-
didn't Yella do porn?
Yeah.
No. And
He
here's
produced or directed.
But we're going to go with Mike. Mike, what do you think Eazy would be up to right now?
everything. Movies, everything, business, everything. Actually, before he passed, what was he released? I've never seen it.
Video games?
Yeah,
stuff?
I was just yeah. He
a
was,
video
I have
on
that.
Computer, PC,
Hidden
whatever.
switches.
Hitting
Yeah.
switch?
I have
yeah.
the DVD. Juice Wally, keep it gangsta AF.
That's right.
Hidden switches. Now
It
the
is
thing about that,
Hidden
it
Switches.
was a PC. It became a PC game, but from what I understand, he was designing that for Sega.
Basically Grand Theft Auto before.
It
Yeah,
was. It
you're
exactly
right.
was.
Holy
Hidden switches,
up?
man.
Yeah,
I would have loved to, and it still could be done. You know,
And
if
that's
someone
why
wanted to go back
even
to it.
Grant, they brought him in
Well,
on Grand
looks
Theft
just
Auto.
like him, yeah.
Yeah, because the whole thing.
Yep.
Wow, dude, I didn't even think
San
about
Andreas, Dur's one of his favorite games.
that. I
was
love
like, Dad, they're
dude,
playing
that,
Easy.
That game was awesome.
It's
I wouldn't
still
even play
awesome.
the missions. I just go around acting like I was
Cruising.
easy.
You're just cruising the game because you can hear like
Yeah.
Danzig and real
Yeah.
Compton City G's.
So video games.
Video games?
Back to I started with you,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
Mike?
yeah.
Video games. What else? What else?
Yeah, probably even the same thing with Yella, like when he did
Porn,
the little
video
porn,
games.
like even if it didn't go so much into porn,
he would have
maybe
invested in it.
invested.
What about
Investing.
musically?
I think that
Ruthless Records would just be huge.
I think if everything would have worked out, nothing like that would have happened. Maybe
NWA comeback for
and
sure.
put it this way: either
Yeah,
Suge,
they said that they had the beef squad.
Yeah.
You know, like,
either at that time, if obviously now Suge's in jail.
well, think about that too. The beef is not really there. They want to do that, but then the problem now is, okay, whose label is it on?
Right, and that was the thing Dre said. Unless he comes to death row, we'll do it. He's just like,
That's
man, ain't
ego.
gonna happen.
That's
No,
ego. Yeah.
exactly. Put it this way: the only way Eazy, I think, would be alive today and doing anything, Suge either really messes up and is in jail or he's dead.
Yeah.
That's it. Because he's the one that put the demise on everything. He's the one that got in the middle. They even said him and Dre were like the best of friends. BG Knockout, they lived a couple houses down from each other in Calabasas.
Yep. While they were beefing.
While they were beefing, they can see each other.
But
And-
what else do you think he'd be doing now musically? Anything?
Dude, I think, I'll tell you what, though. I think Bone would be more...
Way better.
Way...
No
They want to put out the
disrespect to
fart of
Bone.
war.
I think they would be, they would be more of what everybody to this day, like Justin says, relevant. Like you would always tell me about he's not relevant. He's not relevant. But if you look at the big picture with Bone, they still stuck together. That's the whole moral of the story with them. Because
Right on.
Eazy put them on, and Eazy told them, do this and that, longevity.
They would have been like a forever, like a Wu-Tang forever.
More of a
Exactly.
classic group.
If
Yes,
Eazy
yeah, he was still alive,
there.
yes.
No disrespect to Bone. I
No,
love
no,
Bone, man.
and that's fine. But
Yeah.
if he was still,
murderer.
he would Biggie still be Pop, all of them. They would collabs.
It hurt their career, like with Eazy dying when he died. You know, like it hurt Bone's career.
Oh, big time, because they didn't know what to do.
They had the crossroads, and then Tamika, like Wallace said, with the mustache, she took over.
Yeah,
She looked
when
like
she,
Ren from Ren and Stimpy.
You know, and it didn't help. And remember, they had a bunch of backlash.
yeah,
But
Busy wanted to kill her.
Wallace, what do you think Eazy would be doing musically now if he was still alive?
Like Mike said, it would definitely be everything. He would be an entrepreneur of entertainment. He would be working with guys inside and outside of hip hop. I'm
Yep.
talking. He would be working with rock stars. I think he would be. You see
Movies.
tours like The Breaks and all these. I think he'd be organizing things like
that
that.
Guns N' Roses tour would have came.
That
Oh,
would have
yeah,
came.
like metal with hip hop.
Video games,
Yes.
movies,
Everything, a lot
He
of
would
stuff.
have been doing everything. Everything that you see those dudes they're doing
copying
now.
off
Yes.
Eazy, like his whole
Yes.
his whole foundation of
Dude,
independent record label and
He
this
was.
and
He
that.
was.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna throw out my first one for the night, but he was fucking ahead of his time.
Yeah,
You know,
for
like
sure.
for sure. And I really, as much love as Eazy does get, because he's not like one of those guys that's like forgotten and hated on. And I don't think he's underappreciated. But I honestly don't think, I don't mean to make this sound like he's underappreciated, that he really gets like the cred he deserves for being like a media mogul. Like he really
Right
was.
next to like the Russell Simmons.
yeah,
Before the
and we're-
internet.
Yeah, all this stuff. Yes.
Yeah, we're sitting there talking like eating with the president. You're,
Right.
You know, like music videos. I
Right.
mean, because as far as I know, all the music video stuff was all his
Idea.
ideas.
Yeah, he did it. He was like, yo, like he had
Throwing
his
down
hands
the
Like
money
Danzig,
there.
like, hey,
Yeah,
I
he-
want my music videos this way.
Yeah,
We're gonna do it.
Like he worked. Like he was like, yo, like even like DJ Unique would say, yo, like Eazy. When Bone came along, he was just like, even though Eazy would come to the studio later, he's like, once Bone came along, he was at the studio. He was like, he was never there early.
Yeah.
Never. He was there all the time. After Bone, he was on a mission. He was like, we're gonna.
I think he would have went on to be probably one of the greatest producers of just media and entertainment content
Yes,
that we've
yes.
probably ever seen.
Yes.
He'd be all
Because
over.
he knew how to work
He
with
would have been
everyone.
Like, yeah,
dude.
you could tell like P Diddy even copied off of him.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
all these
Like,
guys. Yeah.
Eazy-E would still be making multi-millions right now.
Yeah, he would.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and here's the thing to think about too.
He'd probably be beating up on Kanye.
Yeah, Eazy would smack the shit out of Kanye. But you know, just to think about it in hindsight, you know, without Eric Wright, Eazy-E, there would be no Dr. Dre.
Nope.
There would be no Eminem.
Nope.
There would be
50.
50.
Nope.
Like the, you know, even Master
No
P.
Snoop.
No Snoop.
No,
No nothing.
Oh, dude,
No,
none
no.
of that Master P shit would have
'Cause-
ever came.
Yeah, because Master P just took
Their stuff.
Eazy's formula.
He basically,
you know,
and they were friends.
right.
And they were. He even said he's like me.
I hated that No Limit movement though. In the
I
late
liked it.
90s.
When
Did you
I was
really?
younger.
I didn't. I
You know
didn't
what? In the
like it.
beginning, I was kind of iffy, but then after the years in this,
I
and
like
that-
some mystical stuff. you know?
right. In the beginning, all their stuff, awesome. The only thing that I kind of turned me off about them was like, and this is where it comes in, almost being
When
on
they
the easy.
wrestled,
When
they were in WCW.
Who?
No Limit.
Were they?
What?
Yeah, yeah. Go on YouTube. Subscribe to
JP
Juice
Double.
Pro Wrestling.
Go ahead, Mikey.
All right. No Limit doing what Eazy did in a sense. They copied the whole NWA thing, 3 of them. And they were like true NWA,
Right.
true. All that stuff, their style, everything. The only thing that turned me off is how much
They put out
put out.
They put out way too much.
Like a lot of stuff you're like,
oversaturation.
All of it was
oversaturated, yes.
similar. A
Why?
lot of it was
and
very
why?
similar.
Because they probably looked at Eazy had a lot of people on his label.
Yeah.
A lot, because even Bowen's like, yeah, there was people on his label. I was just like, who is this?
HWA. Like, do we
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
need HWA?
Yeah, the At Band Clan.
Right.
Well,
Blood
above
of
the
Abraham.
law. Above the law was ruthless, right?
Yeah.
And they were going to be the net.
They
Before
were
Bone-
good. Above
Before
the law was
Bone,
good.
they were going to be it. They were like, yo, we're doing this. Bone
Yeah.
came along, which Above the Law didn't care because they were like, yo, Bone's like,
Dude, they were unique. Like, I mean,
Above the Law,
they were
awesome.
they were the originators.
of G-Funk.
They were.
yeah.
That's why they're all over the we'll say
G-Funk
Homies for
era.
Life
Yes,
album.
because
Hutch is all over that.
he even says in it, and which I believe it because if you listen, yeah, exactly. And then Hutch is like, yo, I mean, I'm friends with Dre. But
That album, I don't give a
Flying
flip.
Flip.
A flying flip. That's that's gotta be like the most funkiest, just the most gangsta album ever, dude. Ever. Like MC Ren, if you're out there, you're following us on Twitter and everything.
Yeah, we love you.
We got much love for you. Let us know. Let us know what you think, because we totally agree.
Yeah,
We
agree
think it's
with
the
you.
best.
That was a crazy. Like
That's I like that better than the Chronic.
You know.
I'm
Yeah,
saying
oh,
that.
Like,
yeah.
hold on.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what?
dude.
That album was like the Chronic before the Chronic.
It was.
was.
That's a good analogy, dude. It's very good.
It is.
It was in the same time frame.
Yes,
and a lot of
I
those
know.
tracks on the Chronic were supposed to be for
Yeah.
Ren.
Yeah.
You know, they took a lot of that. Like Deep Cover was supposed to be on Ren's Life Sentence album.
Yep.
You know, people don't know that.
Nobody
but it
knows.
was supposed to be there. And like, you know, Ren had some
And that was the thing.
problems.
Dre took it and took the idea.
Yep.
That's you could see the evolution of Dre through that, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's like you said, where it starts, and then he just went classic, and then I think he peaked at Chronic 2001, you know?
That was great too.
It was great. It was, and especially for the time, maybe we should do an episode on that sometime.
What about Dr. Dre Presents the Aftermath?
That album sucks.
Since my
Everybody
last
knows
CD
that.
was out, you won't bumping me. Was that with Ring Ding Dong? Ring a ding 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 dong.
That's on the
It's a pizza.
That's on the Friday side.
We're so biased in it. We all kind of hate Dre since Easy didn't like him.
You
back
could
in
hate,
93.
you could hate him,
But that's how it
you can't
was.
deny him.
And that's how it was
You had to
growing
pick a
up.
side.
You had to.
Yeah.
But it's the same
That's
time.
like Sox and Cubs fans.
At the same time, though, growing up, even though I did that, because, yeah, same thing. You see him on MTV. And you'd be like, man, forget that, man. I'd be like, man, forget Dre, forget Death Row, this and that. But at the same time, I was rapping all this stuff.
Right.
You can't deny it. It's just what it is.
It is a classic album. Like
It is. And you know what I loved about Dre and Eazy and the whole thing, like you said earlier, about they were actually, when it came to being on the record, comical.
Yeah.
Their stuff they did on interludes were the funniest ever.
Oh yeah.
You know, what was the song? Automobile.
Oh,
Dude.
one of my favorite tracks. I always try to play it at
Hey, yo,
the bar.
Dre, man, I took this bitch out to the movies and shit. We kissing and grinding and shit.
Just
And all of a
stop
sudden, the
something.
bitch said 3 words. Stop, no, and don't. I said,
Well, we'll move on to this, guys. I'm glad you came out. I'm gonna close out to Mr. Eric Wright, Eazy-E. Thank
We
you.
love you.
We love you, man.
Yeah,
You've
babe.
obviously everybody
Miss
that's
you.
listening to this.
11523. You know where that's
Yeah,
from?
his days lived.
5150
Yeah.
home of the sick.
His days lived, man.
Yeah.
But you know, Easy had a huge impact on us. Obviously, we've talked about him for at least an hour now,
Right.
and
We could do more.
we could probably
Go
go
on.
for 4 more
yeah.
hours.
Yeah, let us know if you guys want to hear Mo.
Yeah, Mo Murda.
Oh, my.
But, real quick, I always do a segment called Hate Mail for Musically Meditated. I've received 0 hate mail this past week. It's all
What?
been love.
Wow.
all been
I'm gonna
love.
start sending some hate mail. Dude. If you have hate in your heart, let it out.
So last week I had my dad come in, and you know, I received a lot of local love and from strangers. You know, people I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
You
think
saw-
anybody.
you got. Wait a minute. You got local love from strangers.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense, right?
No, it makes sense, but it sounded a little weird.
It does. But yeah,
I don't see any
like
hate mail
it.
coming from that, though.
No hate mail.
Yeah.
Yeah, no hate
No,
mail.
that was good.
That's just this week.
Yeah,
This following week, you're getting hate mail.
Oh,
yeah,
we're-
right after
yeah.
this episode.
Yeah, all the Dre guys are gonna be like, man, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, so there's no hate mail. I have nothing to say with that, you know, or about that. Dad, thanks for coming through. You know, he's always been a great
Big Joe
father.
Riley is the best.
He is the
Yeah.
best,
He's
and
the
you know, like,
fucking best.
in you know, being a young kid, like he didn't like rap, but he was.
He
not-
understood.
but
He was tolerant.
Yeah, he was tolerant. He knew.
Tolerant. Very tolerant.
The same thing probably with his generation.
what he
his
did-
dad or whatever probably didn't, and he
Yeah.
loved his music.
because you
Yeah,
guys
he
know
let
my
he
father,
let you.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Joe Riley, Big Joe. If you're out there, I love you. This is Juice Wally. You
We
know,
all love
you know.
him. But big
Wallace
you know, but
Riley,
Dad was
2020.
cool. Like,
No, he was.
He didn't care. He didn't care for
Your
it.
your dad was
He
one
was
of the
tolerant.
guys.
He
like
let you be yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Your dad was the guy, the dad guy. Like, hey, you guys, I might not like, but hey, you're a guy. Whatever you like, let's talk about it. Let's do it.
Enjoy
Whatever.
it.
And then
Yeah.
So
What?
we have no hate mail there, but I will end on this note. I always do this. Meditate on this. This past week, there was some weird shit that I saw on social media, and where I'm getting at is, if you have your social media platform, even if it's a personal one, why portray yourself as, I don't know, some kind of activist politically, or whatever, like why take your platform and make it negative? I don't care if you're on the red team or the blue team. I don't care if I don't know. I don't care what you dislike. Just promote positivity.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so
Right.
so take that platform, like
Quit being a negative Nancy.
yeah, just don't be a negative Nancy. Like, let me know what you're into, on your social media platform, because
There's always a agree to disagree, but
That's
do
okay.
But do it in the
Respectful way?
respectful way. Like
Yeah, don't put other people's political beliefs on blast. Don't
Right.
put anybody
They're
else's
religious
beliefs
Yeah,
on
yeah,
blast.
yeah.
Because, like you're saying, at the end of the day,
Because
we may
do you
not all
judge?
think the
I mean,
same,
yeah.
but we all get along.
Yeah,
and
we
you
all-
know what?
we all get along.
That's what makes America great.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You got your freedom of speech, so I'm not
Yeah.
telling people what to say or not to
Right,
say.
right.
But with like Musically Meditated podcast, the door is always open for people to come in.
Right.
We're never gonna push you out the door because
Right.
of a certain group you might be involved with, or a
Religion, ethnicity, race, anything.
race, any
No.
of that. I feel terrible.
The
to
only
have
thing
it.
you want is open minds. That's
Yeah,
it.
we want open minds, and we could disagree about music,
Right.
or we can agree. But I always like to bring people in here, like what we did tonight, and we agree on this individual that
Right.
had a huge impact on our life.
Right, even
And-
though Mike doesn't like women.
Jesus.
Breaking the
Not
ice.
true, not true.
Breaking the ice. He loves all the ladies, but bringing everybody
I hate the
together
booty.
to talk about something we enjoy. Like, why use your platform to talk about negativity?
Yeah.
So meditate on
Just
that. Like,
downplay stuff. It's like
Yeah,
It's
think
like-
before you speak.
yeah, you know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
And we were all taught that as kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
And especially, like, here's another thing. If you're like, I could see that from like 15 to 25 like 15 to 25-year-olds, like putting out their opinions and shit on
Yeah.
social media. But,
they
Thinking
don't know how
that
to-
anybody gives a damn.
yeah, nobody cares. So, like,
Nobody
from
cares.
25
We all have
to like,
problems.
they don't
until
know how
you
to control
die.
the emotions, so they're just like, oh, that's why it's so quick. Like when people on Facebook and stuff.
Yeah.
When they all of a sudden, but they're like, oh, I didn't mean to put that.
Yeah.
All right, well, control your emotions.
just control
Just
it.
think about it. Everybody's gonna see it. Everybody's gonna hear it.
Here's the thing. Everybody in this world nowadays, because the way social media and everything is set up, everybody has enough to bitch about and to be negative about. Why utilize that even more? Because that's all our world is about right now. That's all a lot of
Exactly.
people use it for.
We didn't do a podcast tonight on what we hate. We did
Right.
a podcast tonight on what we loved and what
That's right.
influenced us as people, as grown men. So
Grown men
people-
with 42s in our
42
hands.
ounces.
Yeah, you guys already killed.
when it comes on you.
And you guys
we both
killed it,
pounded
right?
it purple, dude.
it ain't
Touche
blue no more.
more.
Yeah, no love. But don't use that. Right? Just think before you speak.
Yeah,
Use it
get-
for positivity.
Yeah, and get over yourself.
And
Think
get
of
over
everybody
yourself.
else.
If anything,
man.
you know what I love? I love a debate all day.
Me too. A
A
mass
good debate. And- okay. I'm just talking like even if you feel a certain way,
Yeah.
that energy, a friendly debate.
That's what our country's
Me and
based
Joe,
on.
I'll tell you right now,
Yeah,
me and
we
Joe,
debate, yeah.
when he texts me about stuff,
Yeah, we hate each other a lot.
hate. I don't know, I'll sit there.
I hate Mike Barth right now.
But I don't sit there. I don't sit there and put down anything that he's saying. I'm just like, all right, dude.
He knows I love the pound puppies. You don't put them down, you know.
But yeah, it's like we agree to disagree and that's
All
one
the
thing.
time.
But what I'm getting back at is why use your social media
Yeah.
platform for something negative?
Let's
Promote
go
what
back
you
to that
love,
arcade, that
man.
Rodney King. Can't we all just get along?
we?
Rest in
And
peace,
and
Rodney
sometimes
King. Pour
you
a little bit out for
gotta
Rodney.
sometimes you gotta
You got any more left for Rodney in
SYM.
there?
Shut your mouth.
All right.
Think
Well,
before
everybody,
you speak.
check out Musically Meditated Podcast.
Always.
Subscribe. Check out Juice Pro Wrestling. Subscribe. It's
Always.
a part of the Green Door Network. Mike Barth, thank you again. You're my third guest coming on Musically Meditated.
Boy, you should have known by now.
Easy does it. And I'm going to end this episode with my favorite track by Eazy-E, so please listen.
And I was trying to listen to it earlier, and it wouldn't play for me on my.
Straight off the streets of Compton. Dedicated and by most suckers hate it. But I got something I
Rest
want
in
you
peace, Easy. We
motherfuckers
miss
to
you,
know.
man.
I really don't
real.
give a fuck. Born and raised.
Niggas ain't shit in the 90s, I don't trust them. And bitches on my dick, but they ain't shit, so motherfuck 'em. Easy know what's up, cause Easy really don't give a fuck. It don't concern me if it don't pertain to money or not. But then again, I talk to a few of my friends 9 times out of 10 about some ends or some skins. Cause I'm the type of nigga that got to have it like a rabbit. Rapping is my hustle, busting hoes, it's a habit. I stab it like a true no good nigga should. I do it the way a down OG nigga would. And now niggas know Eric Wright ain't no buster. Another platinum cut from the Compton thugster. My name is Eazy-E.
A real nigga. Born and raised in motherfucking HBT. This one's dedicated to you buster ass niggas. You know who you are. Smoke a fat ass joint to this, bitch.
I don't think I'm all this or that, but I'm all me. Original gangsta, Eazy-E. Down from the jump, now I'm ending with the bizzang. Still rolling in my 6'4" on the fizzangs. Doing wicked shit, cause shit is wicked on the streets. And from what my eyes see, the wickedness will never cease. Bitches on my dick, and you know I'm running, y'all. So you just sold your soul to the motherfucking devil's son-in-law. Wicked as can be, Eazy-E got the flow. Leaving the smell of death on the road for sure. And a hoe can't make me or break me, but she could take me to a motel and work a nigga swell, cause I'm Eazy-E.
Suck on these nuts, motherfuckers. Get with the real and quit faking the funk. And oh yeah, stay off my dick. Really though.
I let my demons loose when I hit the 8 juice, and I leave a trail of strips when I'm high off of strips. Niggas talk shit, so I talk a lot of shit too. Niggas wanna diss, fuck them and they whole crew. In fact, nigga, thank ya for stacking a nigga's bank up. Yeah, I'm living swell, but I'm a gangster like Trayster. No, not the doctor, physician, or the MD. Trayster's an
Trey, you
OG,
just a studio
doctor's a phony.
gangster.
Only the real still could chill with me, and the rest can't fuck with E. Cause I'm the OG that'll burn you down. The devil's son-in-law, king of the underground.
Yeah.
To go with the flow that I throw. Giving you more to let a motherfucker know that I could get wrecked on the set and make it slow. Cause you know I ain't a joke, I'm a motherfucking loke, and my name is Eazy-E.
Easy motherfucking E. But you bitches can just call me E. A real nigga from the CPT.
From the CPT, much love from the HBT.
Oh yeah. Don't
Yeah, you know me. It's Joey Only
And I'm
and
out.
Juice Wally with my Barth on the fucking flow, homie. R.I.P.
E.
Easy motherfucking E.
R.I.P. Easy.
We miss you. We love you. We wish you had more of you. Born and raised.
It's my
in-
favorite song by him, man.
Short nights of bird. For Dr. Bird.